Okay, so we're now officially 30 people. So now, thanks a lot for joining. I think we can start now. So good morning, everyone, once again from sunny Barcelona today. I'm Francois. I'm the product manager at Wiris, and specifically for WirisQuizzes. We've reached out to you some weeks ago to inform you of this short upcoming webinar on, well, the new version of our remote assessment tool for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's called WirisQuizzes. And as you can see up there on the right, WirisQuizzes4. So it's the official fourth version of WirisQuizzes. I'm going to try and be fast and just like go through with you a bit of the basics of WirisQuizzes for those of you who maybe are not so much versed into the tool and who want to know more. And then we'll quickly like pan around the new features that we have included in this new version. As always, we have a little hook, so if you stick with us until the end, you will have an exclusive gift that I hope will be useful for you, but I'm sure it will. So yeah, let's stick with us, and we'll see about that right after the webinar. My colleague Anna is just right by me, so if you can ask any questions that you have, you can just post them in the chat or in the Q&A section. And well, she will answer them, and if she cannot, or if she needs me, well, she will tell them directly to me. She's just sitting right next to me. And anyway, we'll have time at the end for this kind of Q&A answering that's we always do. All right, so without further ado, let's do it. So just a bit of a reminder. Better than me explaining it into details, what is WirisQuizzes, I wanted to share with you this quick 2-minute video that just go through the concept of what is WirisQuizzes and why does it exist today and how it can help you be better.
Present some difficulties. For example, creating questionnaires or exams with mathematical language is both complex and very limited. In not seeing their needs met, many teachers choose to give up on using learning platforms, so they end up being underused. Is there a solution to this challenge? We introduce WirisQuizzes, the solution that integrates into your educational platform and enhances the quizzing and evaluation system for STEM subjects. With WirisQuizzes, teachers, students, and system administrators will find their needs fully covered. WirisQuizzes understands math. We have developed a math engine that understands everything from an elementary level to the most complex higher ed problems. It breaks the restrictions of multiple choice questions. WirisQuizzes expands the capabilities of learning platforms and gives students space to show what they know with open answers. As a teacher, you will have total freedom while creating questions. You have an editor that allows you to design and customize questions and define conditions on the valid answers. Because the tool understands math, it can evaluate and compare equivalent answers. You will save time working and correcting. And beyond math, WirisQuizzes covers the specific needs of STEM disciplines, units of measurement and their equivalencies, tolerances, and accuracies. You can even ask geometry or statistics questions graphically, thanks to the new integrated graphics engine. With WirisQuizzes, we boost online learning of STEM subjects. Students will receive tailored and immediate feedback on their answers in real time. The handwriting feature makes entering answers much more convenient with touch devices or styluses. In addition, you can easily create practice sets for your students. If the student needs to practice a specific question, they can repeat it as many times as they want, thanks to random parameters. WirisQuizzes integrates with the most popular LMSs, Blackboard, Canvas, Moodle, and Brightspace by D2L. And it's possible to integrate it into any other platform through the LTI protocol or our own API. Make the most of your school's digital resources thanks to WirisQuizzes. You will enhance the use of your platform in STEM subjects, and you'll take advantage of touch devices with the handwriting feature. WirisQuizzes is the optimal add-on for your learning platform to become a tool for teaching STEM subjects. WirisQuizzes, empower STEM questions in digital learning.
All right, so that was just a little short explanation, I hope, of what WirisQuizzes can really do for you now. And well, as we saw here, what we wanted to do through WirisQuizzes has always been to give you more power. No, so I know that, and we all know that remote education is becoming more prevalent nowadays in learning. And the goal at Wiris was always to give more power to the science, global science teacher, be it physics, chemistry, engineering, or whatever you want. No? And how do we do that? So as we've seen, our math engine, now it's our own math engine. It's really capable of understanding mathematics. I think that's the most awesome feature really about Wiris, is that you can just really break the multiple choice question paradigm. No? So one thing that I like to point out here is the example. If you want to ask a student, like to give you any prime number, not between 7 and 77, well, we will be able to evaluate that very easily. So that's one of the examples, but we have many. This ranges from what we call K-12, so let's say people under 18, students under 18, to university and higher ed. I actually was just on the phone with one of our customers who is an astrophysicist in university in England. We have graph representation as well, because we know that's important for you, for you teachers and for you learners. And of course, cheating prevention. So the random parameters, as you can see, really makes a good set of different questions for all of the students, making sure that they're not trying to copy one another, although we know that none of your students will ever do that, but just in case, we have this cheating proof system as well. All of that brings, of course, progress for the students, and that's where the value is really out of WirisQuizzes. Now, it's to make sure that your students, even though you are doing remote learning or during the pandemic, so we saw it, they can still keep on progressing, and the learning curve can still be very, very good. Tailored feedback. So if a student gets something wrong, well, you can give them an explanation on why they had it wrong, or if you know that they're going to fail because they always kind of the same thing happening in the reasoning, well, you can just try and explain that better to them. No, they can practice on the same topic themselves, as we saw in the video. And of course, we have this nice handwriting feature to go that you can use on your trusty mobile or your tablet or whatever you touch screen, if you have a laptop that's capable of doing that. And last but not least, your system admin or your IT department or whoever can, of course, the shot about the technical things that you have in your university, in your school, or even in your company, will be able to integrate WirisQuizzes pretty easily. We have direct integration into Moodle, Blackboard, D2L, and Canvas. We'll see in a minute regarding WirisQuizzes4 what it means. We can as well support other integration. We are now compliant with LTI 1.3, which is the IMS norm. And of course, we still provide extensive documentation as well as training, a part of which is free, a part of which you can purchase if you want to go into further training through the, let's say, take the most out of the tool. Okay. What's new? Now, what's new in WirisQuizzes is a bit why we're here today. So here we've brought it down into basically three main things. WirisQuizzes4 brings with it improved UX UI. So what I always like to say is that WirisQuizzes is a very powerful tool, but it cannot be powerful if it doesn't have a certain level of complexity, and if its complexity brings its powerfulness in a way. So what we've tried to do is to really improve that UX UI, so the way that you teachers author questions, and to make it much more easier. We'll see it in a minute. The second thing is that we have an update as well on the brain really of WirisQuizzes, which is our calculator, which is called CalcMe. We'll see as well about that, but we've made it much easier to create algorithms. Again, no, in a kind of way to try and improve the user experience of WirisQuizzes, make sure that CalcMe becomes much more user friendly and doesn't bring you any problems. We'll see as well about this in a minute. And last but not least, our own graphical answer tool. No? So until a few months ago, WirisQuizzes was kind of restricted to I don't know, written mathematics in a way, algebra, linear equations, things like that, statistics, probability. But now we've as well included a graphical answer tool that we'll go through in a minute as well, just to show you the benefits of it. So those are basically the three main updates that I wanted to share with you today. I'm just going to check with Anna. Anna, can you see my screen here if I go on the demo? Okay, cool. I wasn't sure about it for a moment. All right, so what's the improved UX UI looks like? So here we're not into any kind of specific LMS. We are in our own demo, but this is very valid for all of the integrations of WirisQuizzes in any LMS. If you click on this new icon, this new tool, it's not green in WirisQuizzes4, well, you see that you have kind of a whole new design of what we call the Quizzes Studio. So here, what we basically brought in is the possibility for you to not have to scroll through all of the validation options, but if you want to do a type of questions like this one, which is basically simplifying to fractions, the tool will know by itself which validation options to offer you. So that's why you see here you have the relevant options, and you see here you have the show all options. So if you want to still go and show all of the options, you can go there and really take the one that you specifically need. But otherwise, by default, the tool will show you the relevant options for the type of equations or for the type of questions that you are asking. Okay, so this is, I would say, one of the biggest upgrade that we've had. We are using what the engineers here call it machine learning or artificial intelligence. I'm not sure what's the right name here, but we're using things like that now, automatic evaluation of what it is, to make sure that we give you only the right options. Okay, and as you can see here, well, we have basically the same functionalities. So you can as well define the input options, but they are like much clearer, and we've really made an effort to make it much more user friendly. And should you want to go there, well, then you will still be able to enter CalcMe and to define your own variables and your own functions, as we've done here. So this kind of remains here as well, but as you can see, we wanted to give it much cleaner look in a way. So that's one of the biggest updates. We'll go through the graphical thing in just a minute, but before that, I wanted to do another bit of deep dive on the CalcMe and on the algorithm lines that we have now. So here again, just a short video that you can see. What we've done basically is that we've implemented into CalcMe the possibility to write algorithm only in one block of CalcMe instance. Okay, so instead of having a lot different of them, you're now able to write your algorithm in the same part of the CalcMe block, which makes it much more easier to do, well, things that you would expect to do in algorithmics or in programmation, for that matter. And as you can see here, now we have features like auto completion that are actually happening. So, well, sorry. So as you can see here, if you want to press Control in space, then it will give you a list of the most used comments. You can copy paste as well. You can comment, which is very important as well. Should you want to share your question or your question file with any of your fellow teacher, so this is also well available. And here as well, you have the ability to copy and paste from one block to another. You can declare, basically right now, you can declare all of your functions, all of your grading functions, all of your variables in one only block of code in CalcMe. Okay. For the ones who have been using CalcMe for the longest, should I say, I know that it's been a pain in the recent years to not be able to do that. So we've made it actually easier, and I mean, as easy as that. If you want to try it yourself now, you can just go on calcme.com, because that's an actual website and it exists for free. And you see here on the rightmost part of my toolbar, you have the algorithm, and here you can start typing thing and do exactly what I just said. So trying the autocomplete feature and so on and so forth. So that's one of the big updates as well that we have for WirisQuizzes in general. That's of course included in the whole package of WirisQuizzes4. and you are now all able to have access to it. And well, last but definitely not least, here's our graphical answer tool. So as I was saying, WirisQuizzes has always been here for linear mathematics, equation statistics. We had our graphical capabilities as well, so you could like draw graphics with lines or bars or whatever. But you were not able prior to that to really evaluate the conceptual understanding of a student on the geometric or a function concept, the same way that you were actually for the rest of mathematics. Now, we have now a graphical answer tool that's both able to represent graphical things, functional representations, as you can see here in a minute, geometrics, simple and kind of more complex. But I think what's the most important is that it can as well evaluate it automatically, the same way that we have in the typical WirisQuizzes. So our math engine, our math brain, is now able to understand and interpret and evaluate with the same level of precision that you want, or that you set actually as a teacher, is now able to evaluate this as well. So here I'm just going to show you a small demo of what we can do. So here the question is to complete the drawing of a pentagon inscribed in the circumference of the center of the 0.0 point. As you can see here, using circles, you have a variety of tools that the student can use. You can customize the toolbar, by the way, should you want to remove some of them or to include some of them. And as easily as this, you can well, do this exercise of drawing a pentagon, sorry. And here as well, the tool will be able to give you automatic evaluation of the student's answer. No? So if we want to go a bit more into detail on that, let's go back to our trusty and beautifully looking new studio. And no, sorry, that's not the one I want to go to. Close that saving, sorry. We have actually in the demo this. No, we have another example that's basically how to draw the bisector of an angle. So as you can see here, in a minute when it appears, the toolbar is actually less complete here, because in the authoring options, I've decided as a teacher to remove some of the toolbar tools that were not maybe so useful. Okay, so here, if I remember correctly, the bisector of an angle, again using circle. Okay, and then yeah, it will give you basically the bisectors of the bisector of the angle, no? And if you evaluate it, it will say that it's geometry equal. Okay, so now if we go to the authoring part, so for you teachers who want to have a deeper look at it, here on the graphical section, we see that we have various things, and we have as well like validation option and the possibility to customize the toolbar. You can as well decide on an initial content, so what you want to see appear on the screen prior to the answer the student trying to enter, and here of course defining the correct answer. Again, now if you want to customize the toolbar, you can remove like very easily in a very kind of easy to use user interface. So if I want to remove, I don't know, the floating, well, then I can just do it, and then the student will not do it, will not see it, and it shows here automatically. And then again, now if I want to give some margin to my student, well, I can use the validation options and say that, well, what needs to be evaluated here in this case is that the line F is the actual bisector of the segment. But then I have a tolerance as well here, okay? So for many of the examples, you may want to leave the student with a kind of tolerance, so that if they want to draw the function, that there may be something, a bit of tolerance, well, you can actually set that in the validation option as well, to be as much as you want. You can as well ask them to remove their construction circles in that case. Well, you can really do a lot of things around that. Okay, so again, this is our I think it's our most important feature of WirisQuizzes is really, again, not trying to give you more power on what you can do as a teacher, as a science teacher in your university or in your class. Is give you as well the possibility now to evaluate, to create and evaluate graphical answer tool. So again, I'm not sure if there are any questions, but if not, we'll just continue. Don't hesitate to write if something is not clear in the chat. We'll be happy to help you on that. But yeah, basically those are the three main features that we have now. So just to sum it up, we have a brand new user interface. We have this very nice feature in CalcMe and in the algorithm writing that really helps you to, I don't know, be more efficient and be more versatile, agile with your algorithms. And now, of course, this graphical answer tool. Oop. No, I need to switch. Okay, how do you update to WirisQuizzes4? Here, it's kind of a, due to architectural reasons on our end, we have two ways. No? So if you're using Moodle, and I know that a lot of you are using Moodle, you can download directly the package on the Moodle plugin page or from your Moodle admin settings. You should have received an email already if you're using Moodle with the instructions on how to do it. If not, we'll be happy to share here the link with you, and there won't be any problem. If you're using another LMS, we'll be upgrading, we'll be putting forward WirisQuizzes4 on July the 5th. Okay, so that's roughly a week from now. You should have been warned as well, well in advance, that if you're using Blackboard, Canvas, or D12/Brightspace, the update will be coming with the relevant information. But I mean, if you have any questions regarding it, again, right now is the chat is a good moment, or you can always reach out to your sales representative, and we'll figure it out. But since the way it's kind of architectured, we have to be the one at Wiris to make the upgrade. I'm seeing that we have some questions in the chat, so let me just open the thing. Can the initial content of graphical questions be random? Yes. Will instance be different at each instance? Yeah, you can do that as well. You can do that as well. I don't have here a proper example, and it will be maybe too cumbersome for me to do it, but you can do that as well. And you can add parameters. I'm not sure what you mean here as parameters. So I'm not. I mean.
Then we have another one. At the moment, the calc code and the question are separated. Is there any plan to rework on two in one interface?
Yeah, I'm reading the question as well. The questions cannot be exported in details of Moodle. Now, no, we don't have any plan for that, but it's an interesting thing that we could do. I know that you can export the question in CalcMe, and you can export the question as well in Moodle directly, but there is no plan to actually fuse them or make a fusion of those. But I will definitely take down your feedback, Nathan, and see if we can work something out. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of cumbersome as well for some of our users, but today is not really possible. But I'll go back to the dev team and ask them about it. Yeah, sure. So Marcy is asking if it's fairly new to WirisQuizzes. So first of all, welcome to the family, and thank you for using quizzes. You can see our documentation page if you want like more information on how to use WirisQuizzes4. We have a separated section for WirisQuizzes4. So if you just go to docs.wiris.com and you go into the WirisQuizzes section, you have a separate page of documentation for WirisQuizzes4. Then if you want to use the demo that I've just shown, you can just use very easily go type demo WirisQuizzes into Google, and you will see the page as just show you. So it's okay. Is a comparison of CalcMe to the math? Oh, that's a long question. that needs more than a webinar. I would say definitely that we are at the level of Maple. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I mean, it's recognized historically to be one of the best. I would say that our CAS, our computer algebra system, is as powerful as Maple. We are always improving on it as much as we can, but yeah, I would say definitely Maple. If you want, and if you reach out to us rightly after the webinar, we can send you maybe a bit more of a comparison table on really what are the features that we have or that they have that we don't have, but we are in that level of depth, I would say, of mathematics. Can you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, as we don't see the question of others, can you please read them aloud before answering? Yeah, sure. Can the initial content? Okay. And what do we have after here? Okay. So I think for me, it's all the questions, no? Okay. Just before we move on, I promised you a surprise, and the surprise is here. It's not Christmas yet, so don't be too excited. No, we've had somebody in the team, a student in mathematics here in Barcelona's university, creating Moodle questions about a lot of themes, really, for a lot of different mathematic big topics. And we are now able in one of our own Moodles, so we are now able to download them, export them, and basically give it to you for you guys, give it for free to you guys. What we've done for today, I've decided to go with algebra, so you can receive an exclusive series of questions. I think it's a bit more than 35 questions. I think it's 36 or 37 questions around algebra that you can just like import into your Moodle or import into your Canvas, Blackboard, or D2L, and just let it work, and you will have the questions already. Those are, I mean, they're not basic questions, they are like thought of questions, but they really make use of all of the possibilities of WirisQuizzes. Okay, so that's the most important thing. So you will have your random parameters, you will have your grading functions, you will have all of the thing that you need. Should you want to receive that, because we don't want to spam you, please leave your email in the chat, and you can as well get in touch if you don't have time to do it right now, whatever. Get in touch with us, send us an email at info@wiris.com, or just go on our website or contact your sales representative. I mean, we are always happy to help you, and we'll send one of these. I'm seeing that the chat is active. Okay, cool. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. I will send you the algebra questions, and I think it's something that you can use, and let us know as well of your feedback. Actually, this is the first time that we're sharing it actively with the participants. So let us know of your feedback if it's any help for you, and what we can do better as well. It's kind of our first shot at it. I'm seeing the Q&A being active as well. That's more emails. Morning. Okay. So I have a question about some months ago, I enrolled in a demo course that I could not finish. Are you thinking of a new release of the course, including this new functionality? Okay, we have a new training for WirisQuizzes4. So should you want to have any help on that, on being enrolled, well, you can reach out now in the chat, or you can just say your email right here. Please send your email here, and my colleague Jordi will be happy to help you on that. Okay, so I think you're Esther Barroso. Okay, and we have a new training as well. Let me just quickly show you that. So if you go to campus.wiris.com, which is our own Moodle where we play around, you have basically a kind of a new training, you know, on WirisQuizzes4 and on the feature for WirisQuizzes4. So I mean, you'll have your old training in some way, but you will have as well kind of a new training with the graphical answer tool. and so on and so forth. So you will be able to do that. Again, the documentation is always a good place to go if you have any questions on that. So as you can see here in our new training, you have as well elements that are making use of the graphical answer tool. I'm interested in being enrolled in demo course. Okay, so for all those of you folk who are interested in the demo course, just reach out to us at info@wiris.com. We've gotten as well your email for those who want the question. So don't worry. Just after the meeting, the webinar now, Anna and I will just sit down and make sure that we have the people well connected and who wants what. But people who want the demo, I think the best would be as well to send an email, just a quick email to info@wiris.com, and we'll be happy to enroll you on that. It's no problem. And yeah, Esther, it's okay. I know that you want to be in the demo. I have you in mind as well. And for the rest, we'll just send you the algebra question then, because it seems to be pretty powerful. Oh, we have somebody from New Zealand. Hi. Okay. If you have any other questions, now is the time. I don't want to. Okay. Pre-made quiz. Okay, I'm reading a comment now. That's interesting. Pre-made quizzes aligned to national curricula would be a killer feature. Perhaps we could motivate teachers to write and share. Of course, needs a large group of contributors. Yes. Otherwise, everyone is reading. Yeah, I know. Okay. Ah, that's interesting. You should say that. It's very interesting that that you say that. It's actually what I've been thinking about as well. We have something that's called the STEM collection. So if you look on that on Google, you can find it. It's basically an old repository of all of the teachers of using WirisQuizzes. We're trying to implement and share with everybody. We kind of deprecated it because it didn't have so much use. But what we've done with the student in mathematics that was here for a few months was precisely what you're trying to say. You know, it's taking like the standards of education in the US, which is a big pool of our customers, in Europe as well, which is another big pool of our customers, and try to make sure that even though we cannot go through every curriculum, we make sure that all of the questions that we address and that we want to share with you and that he was creating make use one way or another of the requirements of each curriculum. Okay, so that's definitely something that we're looking into. For the sharing feature, I think as well it's something that could be very interesting. The problem we have right now is that since we rely on as a plugin on a mother platform, on an LMS, Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, whichever you would have, we don't really have any place to store those apart from an external platform. But since we've seen that, it doesn't have any I mean, the success that we hoped, but it's definitely something that we're really looking into. So thank you for reaching out and saying that, because the questions that we've tried and done and the ones that you will have in the algebra section are following not to the letter, but are in the same mood or philosophy that what the national standards actually required of students, and that they know by, I don't know, K-12 or higher university of what else. Yeah, regarding the recording, you will have it by email. I'll probably end up on YouTube as well. I'm not sure if we do that still. Okay, so I'll probably end up on YouTube. My mother will be happy. Is it possible to know if there are any other schools in Netherlands? Yes, definitely. So to the person asking about the schools in Netherlands, we have their contact. La persona que ha hecho la pregunta. Okay, but yeah, definitely we have schools in the Netherlands, and you can work with them. And if you want to have more info, it's definitely possible. Again, with all of your questions now, we can get them in the chat, but it's maybe not so easy to follow up. If you want to just write the same questions that you wrote to info@wiris.com, that would be perfect. Circling back to my previous questions, how can you upload questions on STEM collections? Do we have to pass through you? I think we kind of deprecated the feature, but that's a very good question. Let's see what we did. I think you can still upload them, but as you can see, like the website is kind of it's not so well updated still. So you can download them, but I'm not sure you can upload them now. Yeah, I don't think so. But again, what we're trying to do now is to go through something that would be easier to share than just people putting their questions. The naming was kind of off as well, because like people would just put the questions that they have in a quiz. So it would be like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 or ABC. So again, we've worked extensively to try and make sure that this was better. Okay, so I think another question. I use Wiris with Moodle. Often problems that the plots that are nice and visible in CalcMe do not show in the Moodle question, or that I cannot get the settings for color. Okay. I'm not sure. I would say contact our support, because it's hard for me to give you live support on that. There's probably something wrong in your configuration or in the way that the question are authored. But I would say, like, if you can just contact support@wiris.com. We have 3 engineers now working in our support team that are very proficient in our tools, and that will be able to maybe go with you, or if you give them access to your Moodle, even temporarily, they'll be able to, you know, pinpoint quite rapidly where's the problem and how they can make that work. And going back to the chat, you cannot upload questions. I sent mine to Jordi. Okay, that's a good. You see, so somebody is working at Eindhoven University in the Netherlands. So yeah, something. Remark for the devs: editor of questions with exporting from a platform like CalcMe would really be amazing. Okay. If the export code can be readable in text set, then it will be easy to work on question offline. Okay, I see what you mean here. It's a request that we have quite often as well, on how to work with the questions offline. As of today, I mean, you need to understand as well that we're relying heavily on Moodle, and that we need to basically abide by the rules of Moodle and make sure that we're doing the way that they are meant to be, so that our questions can be readable by Moodle. But yeah, again, Nathan, that's another very good feedback, and thank you for giving it. We are thinking as well on ways to make it work offline, although, to be fairly honest with you, it's quite complex, so it's not going to be something I can really engage myself on and tell you that it will be available in the near future. But no worries, it's taken into account. We have again, we have lists of feedback, and then we need to prioritize our backlog with, you know, new things and things that we can work in the back. You're welcome. Thank you, Nathan, for coming today. Okay, let me see. Wiris is great for drill, but in Moodle you can only put a question once in a quiz. I'm sorry, I don't get your question. So Wiris is great for drill, so you mean as a trial, I guess, but in Moodle you can only put a question once in a quiz. So yeah, to be clear, WirisQuizzes is basically what it does. It adds a subset of type of questions into Moodle, but that's as far as it goes. So all of the rest relies on the Moodle architecture. So your courses, your quizzes, everything will be Moodle. You want to copy the question? Okay. Okay. Okay, that's something I thought you could do, to be honest with you, like just copy paste. But okay, let me go back to you on that, because I'm not sure what's really the issue here. I think you can copy paste the same question, but I'm not sure it will get the same parameters. That's something to take into account. Okay, and okay, chat. Right for the okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, this is okay. Now I see what you mean. Thank you, Nathan. This is something that we're working around as well, to make sure that you can duplicate basically the questions, if that's what you mean. It's further down the road for our development. Bear with us, bear with WirisQuizzes. I mean, all of you here, I think, are able to grasp the potential of quizzes. But yeah, we know that we have to rely on the things And again, I mean, one of the things that we're looking into the future and the strategy of quizzes is to how basically to have our maybe own platform, not rely so heavily on Moodle or on other LTIs, to be able to host our questions or to be able to I don't know, share them, or to have our own quizzes or our own content. But it will be, I mean, it will be quite a big change for us. It will be like launching a new product altogether. So I would ask a bit of patience, but this is the way that we have to go. So we are kind of going this way. Don't worry about it. Well, super feedback today. I mean, thank you everybody for giving me all of that. That's very interesting to hear that you are so active. No, thank you for coming. It's been great. I'm not sure if there are any more questions, but then I think we can. Having it integrated on Moodle is great. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of you're right. No, it's a debate. I think we can still have it integrated into Moodle, but let's say that it would give us much more flexibility. I'm not sure if anybody from Moodle official is in the call. If not, I'm not saying that we don't like Moodle or that we want to move away from Moodle. Of course not. What I'm saying is that, yeah, we rely heavily on Moodle for a lot of things, which is a good thing because Moodle is a very powerful platform, but as well, it kind of prevents us from giving our users the full set of features that they would like. Let's put it like that. But no, there was no bashing on Moodle, of course, that we've been partners with you forever, and that was not my thing. Thank you. No, thank you for the thank yous, as we say. You will see the webinar recording will be sent over to you by email. Again, I mean, I've been trying to show it before, but info@wiris.com, support@wiris.com. Probably anything at wiris.com would work nowadays because we have like so many, but we have our trusty first line of fire, that is help desk, and that will be able to best let's say drive you to the best person in our team here at Wiris for any questions that you have. Thanks for all of you who have given us your emails. We'll make sure to send you right away this file with the question on algebra. And yeah, let me just open one last time the chat. Merci pour tout. Bonne journée. Merci également. And so we have another question. What are the stages of queuing science-based questions on Moodle? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about your question, to be honest. What do you mean queuing science-based question? You can create science-based question. You can, if you want, you can download the plugin of quizzes and integrate it in your Moodle and start creating the science questions. But I'm not sure about queuing. There is a bulk upload on Moodle. Yeah, I mean, that's more of a Moodle functionality than really ours. So if you have a subset of questions of Moodle, you can just upload them in bulk in another Moodle. That's something that's feasible. I mean, it's best to check with, if you're the administrator, then you can do it, but it's best to check prior with any of the system administrator or Moodle administrators to make sure that it's not going to break anything. But yeah, definitely it's something that you can do. It's more of a Moodle feature again than really a quizzes feature. WirisQuizzes, again, what it does is just create a new subset of question types into Moodle, so they are treated the same way by Moodle. What we do is like we really implement our studio into the question of Moodle, as well as math type if you want to be able to write mathematics, and that's how we evaluate and that we create the questions. All right, so merci. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day for all of you. And again, question info@wiris.com. All of those of you who gave your email, you will have the subset of questions. I think it was pretty successful. So that's nice. We'll send it over to you, of course. And yeah, we're recording of the webinar available on YouTube, and we'll send it over to you by email as well if you want to have a look again. And to import a whole question, you need to import. Yeah, so that's thank you whoever said that. To import a whole question bank in Moodle, you need to import a file in Moodle XML format. So that's what we will send you. Actually, we will send you a Moodle XML format of question that's called algebra, I think, and you will just import it and it works. Provided that you have WirisQuizzes inserted already in your Moodle, it would work. All right, so yeah, thank you all, and have a great rest of the day. And well, we are in touch if you need anything. We'll be here. We'll be here. Thank you very much.